Hello everybody and welcome to Trade with Precision free newsletter. My name is Tamar. Today I want to take a look at index markets around the globe and I want to show you my pick of the index in each region. And I want to start with Asia and I want to take a look at the Nikkei. Now what we've got here on the daily is a beautiful uptrend, clear series of higher highs and higher lows. Moving averages are fanning and in the correct order with very nice convergence here on the momentum indicators. Looking at the weekly, we do have a nice uptrend here. We had a very bullish move over here last couple of weeks, quite a strong move. We are overextended. So what I'm looking for is a bit of a pullback to release some of this very strong buying pressure. We also have nice convergence here on the weekly as well. So where am I going to look for that pullback? So what I like to do is draw the Fibonacci retracement and look for areas for potential pullback. So let's draw the Fibonacci retracement of this latest move on the daily chart, and we can see that the sweet spot, that area between the 50 to 61.8% retracement, is sitting right here in the buy zone, the area between the 10 and the 20 moving averages. Now I want to take another Fibonacci retracement from this low over here. So let's just draw this area here, and this is not a very predominant low or higher low on this daily chart, but if we'll switch into the 4 hours, we can see that this has been another higher low on this time frame. So I'm looking for pullback into clustering areas, and I like the cluster between the 50% and the 61.8%. It's not a precise cluster, but I like the area. It's also the previous swing high, and it's also close to this round number of 22,100. And if we pull back into this area, it will be a deeper pullback in the context of the 4 hours. But what we can also see is that when the market made this slight higher high, we also got some strong divergence here on the indicator. So we could see a deeper pullback into that 50 moving averages, which if we'll go back into the daily, will bring us right here into the buy zone on the daily chart. So this is the Nikkei. Now let's move into Europe, and my favorite in Europe is the DAX. So looking here at the DAX, for many days we haven't moved much. We were just stuck here in a range until we finally broke above that range and continue to trade higher. So we're looking quite bullish here on the daily chart, moving average fanning and in the correct order, and beautiful convergence here on the indicators. Now I'm looking for again a pullback into the buy zone, an indication that the pullback is over and a continuation of that move. If we take a quick look at the weekly, we can see that the weekly is also been quite strong. We had a deeper pullback here into the 50 MA, and now we're starting to move higher. So again, I'm looking for trading opportunities in the direction of the trend as we're pulling back to release some of that strong buying pressure. Now we can see here on the 4 hours we're starting to go sideways here, so I'm looking for a pullback again on that daily time frame. I'd love a pullback to test this breakout level from above, but even a pullback into this area around the 13,300 area back into the buy zone will be something that I'll be very interested in. And let's move into the US. And in the US, I really like the Nasdaq. So we can see here on the Nasdaq, beautiful uptrend on the weekly chart, clear series of higher highs and higher lows. Moving averages again, fanning and in the correct order, and nice convergence on the indicators. Now we can see here on the 4 hours, we made a slight higher high, but we're actually diverging here on the indicator. So we might get a deeper pullback in the context of the higher time frame. We've got the same story here on the 8 hours as well, with divergence on the indicators. So I'm looking for a pullback into the buy zone and a continuation of this move. I'd love a pullback in the context of the weekly. That might be a deeper pullback here on the daily, test that previous swing high, and then a move onward. Now looking here On the Dow, it's a similar story, although on the daily, we're just moving sideways over here. We have a beautiful uptrend on the weekly chart, moving averages fanning and in the correct order, and a bit of an overextension. So I'd like a pullback again, maybe into that 23,000 round number. It's going to be back into that bison area, and then a continuation of that move. It would look like a deeper pullback here on the context of the daily, but we can see we do have those on the weekly chart. We do have those deeper pullback on the daily context. You can see that here it changed the trend on the daily. However, we just got a nice pullback here on the weekly. So looking for a similar move in this case, because currently the mid time frame are going sideways and don't have a clear direction, and we do have some divergence coming in, so we could see that deeper pullback. So if you want to know more about how we trade and also what sort of mistakes to avoid when coming to trade in the market, then please join us on our next webinar, which is the critical trading errors and how to avoid them. Now this webinar is going to run on Tuesday the 7th of November at 7 p.m. Sydney, 9 p.m. Auckland and 8 a.m. London. In this webinar, we're going to look at why the majority of traders fail and also go through some very important trading errors and how we can avoid them. So we look forward to see you on this webinar. Happy trading, and I'll speak to you soon.